nothing quite works and everyone's feeling a little out of place. And they're going to know how to put on a punishment into map 2. NKT getting a start CT side of Dust2 as well. That will have been their choice. Let's see if it pays off.
Into the pistol round we go, and it's Urgas with a kit. Couple flashbangs as well as NKT start on that CT side. Blitz will have a molly. There's a smoke and a flash as well for Hastakers, so plenty of utility out on the board right now for both of these teams to try and get some opening picks, get some space. Checkmate going to be making the first move. Nice shot from Coolest there. Time, though, is looking to try and at least recover a little bit. And he does actually manage to find 2 there. Makes up for his teammate going down immediately and actually brings things into an even situation here.
Nice pot flash to try and get that bomb across, but the spam down is good from the CT side. Urkas goes down to 21, but for now, at least, that bomb is yet to transition, and Impression will take full advantage. Bomb in a recoverable spot at the very least. Coolass will make sure that gets towards the side, but he's being flanked out from long all the while, and this is about to get very ugly indeed. Coolass realizes, resets the plant. This time it's going to head out in towards short, but already Score has taken platform control, and Blitz has to get a shift on here. His side player can only survive so long. There's the backstab. The low HP of Urcast is next, and that's the defuse kit dropped deep into CT. Score knows out of nowhere he has got to do absolutely everything here. Coolass tucks himself behind Gandalf, and this is so well played now by Checkmate. That bomb already halfway ticked. Score knows he needs a fight, but Coolass isn't giving him one. A second tap. He's making footsteps. He's giving the game away. He wants that kit, but now the drop down comes in. Coolass finds the conversion, and Checkmate, from a little bit of an awkward spot, managed to nail that pistol down.
And all because of that opening P250 shot as well. Gave him a little bit of space towards long to work with. Yeah, Zine was able to find a couple in return, but it was still a pretty even situation. And Checkmate, I mean, Blitz on that flank. That was a huge 2K coming through. I mean, I was a little bit skeptical as I was watching. I was thinking, this is a bold play to make him the pistol, to wrap around through CT instead of just playing for the after plant short. It was bold, it was brave, but it works beautifully. Checkmate, and now they've got that opening advantage. Looking to find a little bit more here as well. Impression alone towards his B site. Needs to put up a defense, but it's Blitz. Take him out of action, even able to secure a double as well, as they'll get that bomb planted.
Really nice little read there from Checkmate. Fancied the B bomb site. They know once they've taken the site, this retake is nigh on impossible. Let's be realistic, so the save will have to come through, and looks like they've done their homework. A very sparsely occupied B site as Impression, as you said, really had to get it all done with the Deagle. Asking a lot of one man and just a little too much. Shin, though, should and will be able to pick one up. That's a rifle that he can salvage away to the deepest depths of the A site to support the Scout and the Deagle into the next. Not bad at all. Not what NKT would have wanted from that force fire, however. Second round goes the way of Checkmate. 4 players kept up. It's a really nice start from the T side.
And of course, you can drop over the Deagle he had as well to a teammate. So that's going to give a little bit extra firepower in. As NKT hope that maybe they can find something from this, but Checkmate surely going to find a third. I mean, I guess in a round like this, your main aim is just damage. You don't really come into this one thinking, okay, here's how we're going to win this round. No, I think generally you'll think, here's how we get a few kills, here's how we make life difficult for Checkmate, and if things go our way, maybe later in the round we can think about, maybe, is this a winnable position?
Yeah. That's about all you can really think of in these opening moments. Checkmate playing it smart, not giving anything up early, just deathballing through the lower tunnels. Starting to try and use that utility advantage, clearing out their close angles. Good damage through the door onto Coolast at the very least. Urcast showing his experience with a nicely lined up spam. But again, Checkmate taking no risks. Nobody's isolated. They're all looking a group, using that utility advantage to take away the map control methodically. Minute left on the clock, though. We'll want to start speeding things up, as now Bomb making its way up short. Does look like it intends to head over to a slightly stacked A site. Cast first up on the ramp with the Deagle. Execura able to support on the cross with a Scout. So that utility is going to be required here as they start to sneak their way out.
Urkas throws a flashbang, they'll know his position. He needs to be careful with what he does, but they are sneaking forwards. And oh, he takes the peek, realizes how deep they've gotten, calls for assistance, and actually they find a couple before the nades come flying in to take down Urkas. So that's a nice little bit of damage found. But a 3-on-4, bomb about to get planted. I think this should be the round still being secured by Checkmate, although the damage is seriously good. It's only Techno alive. He will have though post plant towards short, and that's where the bomb's planted for, so at least he has that going for him, and he taps and sees there's nobody on it. The nade will go deep, it takes down Excurate, but Zine. Oh, it's all gone wrong for Checkmate.
That was not the play. They tried to go quietly up short, and it worked. For a long, long time, it worked, but they got spotted, I think, arguably at the worst moment. They were halfway between the site, Gandalf, and short. They were stuck in no man's land, so Excurate got an early pick on a tagged up player. Urcast able to get at least one more before he went down, and then the scouting player tried to switch to the Glock to get 2 kills, could only find the first, score on 1 HP, survives, and you just saw Techno a little bit caught between a rock and a hard place there, a little in disarray, expecting that round just to be mopped up. Instead, gets a little bit awkward. Now Score on the secondary AWP, trying to boost over the top. CT's investing very heavily into this one, and the AWP spotted. Cool, that's not quite able to land the shot, however, as mid control is gathered.
Let's just try and take a bit of control towards short. Fully blinds him there. But luckily for him, nobody from NKT nearby to catch him. And Checkmate. Looks like they just want to hit towards the A site from short. This time, there is going to be a couple players watching. Excurate's one of them with the AWP as well. So how are you going to dislodge him? Surely a flashbang to try and blind him up and force him to take a timing shot. The smoke's down as well. He's going to drop a molly though in return. And look at the damage that's being done with these bits of utility. 3 players now tagged up by that HE. And they're unable to progress because of the utility. But now they start to push an Excurate. Oh, those are the ones you really do need to be hitting. Urkas now with a lot of work to do, and he does manage to get the first, but that's all he can find. Bomb's going to be planted, 4-on-3, and Zine towards the pit. Not sure what you can do from this position. I don't think anybody's even going to take the peek on him from this angle.
Yeah, the ball firmly in NKT's court, and without that, well, without anything to really work with, right? Bombs planted for short. They're limited on utility. They're limited in what they can do. They're already a man down. They'll do well to save these 3 remaining rifles and make things at least a little more expensive. Checkmate, though. A quick response, a strong response from the T side again. Excurate just not quite able to land the shot he was after. 3rd round comes up for Checkmate, cleanly so as well. 3 players kept up. Rifles to build the economy, and NKT right on the cliff edge right now.
This could be the round to push them over the edge as well. This is desperate. They've gone double AWP. Score and Excurate. Saving one of them across from this round, or from last round, I think. So, you've got the weaponry here. Urcast has been left with the MP9. That's not the greatest of weaponry, but it can still work out. Not towards long, just a little bit of damage being inflicted onto Zine. He's been tagged down just below 50. And let's be careful he doesn't get into any sort of dangerous positions. Nades could finish him off. That nade doesn't do enough. Now Checkmate. Trying to probe around this map, try and find themselves an opening. So far, nothing given up though.
Looking for this early pick. Urcast thinking about pushing the issue. Flash is going to go too deep. He'll have the freebie. Meat Grinder, surely no. Blitz on 13 HP. Somehow gets away with murder. And now Hasteka is dropped deep into CT. The smoke locking off the support from B. The site is given up for free. You can see Jin and Excurate, they want nothing to do with this. They've already rotated out. They'll concede the site, hope for maybe a pick, which tempts them into a retake. But with those 2 players still turtled up on the B site, This one again looks like it will just be a concession from the CT side. No real interest in the retake. Timings, as they look to escape, are going to be absolutely everything. And Jin's not expecting Bartak in towards top mid. Already starting to thin the numbers. This double AWP has to be saved. It's such a heavy investment from the CT side. Xcurate, he's going to have his removed. A clean headshot from Bartak. And now those two B players absolutely must stay alive. Score an impression. They're going to hunker down, hope, beyond all hope, that they're not chased. There is going to be some aggression from Checkmate, but the clock is already very low, so if they just hide in their corners, they should be able to stay alive. Score an impression, set themselves to crossfire, but Techno on the drive-by. Impression goes down to the AWP as well. Checkmate, they are not content to let those saves happen. They are rubbing salt in the wounds right now.
Heartbreak. Total heartbreak. Oh, NKT, that is... I feel for them. I feel the pain. I don't know. It's... What do you do in this position now? You just... I think the only option you have is just to take this timeout, reset mentally, and just go for a bit of a minimal buy in this next round. Get a few pistols up, see what comes from this. Because obviously you won a round earlier off the back of the sort of low investment round with a single Galil, a few pistols. I think it's unlikely you do that again. I think the chance to sort of win out in this early game is sort of past already. Checkmate are going to find 5 here. I'm thinking in the economy, they should be able to buy up next round, Team NKT. You have the loss bonus pretty much there. So as long as you keep as long as you keep this sort of economy there, you are going to be able to buy up in the next round. So they'll be able to fight back at 5-1. It's not the end of the world. Just try and focus on that rather than mistakes from the previous round. The score's long. Kills quick, but that goes both ways. Yeah, USP's finding a little bit of damage to try and recover that AK-47, but Xcurate will pay the price.
So now that though, Storm will get at least one. Teammates being chased down, dinks onto both. They're going to boost up onto blue. They're trying to isolate Bartak, and they're doing a good job. The armor just about saving him for now. He's trying to back away. He's going to be chased down by the pistol, but the backstab from Asaka will come in. I mean, that's just one of those rounds. Checkmate decides to take long control. NKT decide to full stack long, and they're committed to sending it. They don't really want to allow any rifles to be saved across, so they keep committing numbers. At least able to keep 3 up on the Checkmate side of things, which will allow that economy to keep building, but it's certainly less than ideal, right? It's not really what you want to be seeing. NKT now with the buy, an opportunity to put some real damage onto the boys on Checkmate. They are going to go for this long contest again. The nades are there, the flashes are out, but Xcurate is up to the task. Early pick found for the first time in a long time, and the pit player isolated with 3 men facing him. Xcurate, his second on the AWP, but they're still committing. Everyone is out long. They've got a man posted back plat. That's Coolast. He's hoping he gets the opportunity, and indeed he will. Xcurate not expecting it. Man advantage still there, but Coolast starting to stabilize things.
Finally a little bit of form from Xcurate. Not seen much of him with this AWP so far in this in these 2 maps, but finally gets a little bit of work done. Urkas now wielding that weapon, looking to try and find more. But no scope, and that's the bomb. Just Coolest remains 1 versus 4, and NKT surely finds a second, unless something spectacular can come through. I mean, the first has been collected. Yeah, I was gonna say, if he's able to get away from that one and not get punished, that would have been a very, very lucky. Probably should have bought a lottery ticket in that case. But yeah, it does go down. And Checkmate are the ones that call the timeout now.
I like it. I like the idea. Mental reset, right? You've only allowed NKT isolated rounds so far.
Yeah.
Still plenty of money to invest, of course, on the Checkmate side of things. If they can find another reset here, with that double AWP still very heavily invested into, they would once again get incredibly ugly for NKT. So take the pause, work the plan out. So far, the execution pretty close to perfect. Checkmate just fluffing their lines a little bit on that last round. Continuing to contest the long control despite knowing Xcurate was posted with the AWP. Could have done with a couple of extra flashes over the top, but right, that's one away. Get on with this one. Coolast will still have his AWP as he invests near enough fully. There will still be AK's full utility for everyone. And some fairly heavy spawns for a B play here. A few players going to head in that direction. Couple making the wander down suicide. Timing shot not quite going to connect. They thought about the counter boost on the CT side, opted to bail out instead. We'll concede that early control.
No, just spot out that player towards mid. Knows there's an AWP there. Obviously they'll know that double AWP's carried over from the previous round, but yeah, you've got an opportunity now just to try and make sure NKT aren't able to find any sort of consecutive rounds in this sort of early portion of the game, to try and punish them early on, time and time again. And right now, Impression is under a lot of threat. Calls for his teammate for backup. They actually find a couple. Bartek finally takes down Impression, but that's the B site secured nonetheless. Despite the man disadvantage. Ooh, this is. Oh, I don't like how Staker taking that peek. You don't need to take the fighting towards mid there. You can just maintain the site. The B site's such a fortress.
Such an awkward spot now. Bartek doing what he can, gets the first. Coolast is well placed behind this big box. If he can find another pick through that doorway, it could be viable. Execute an engine. They're going to look to go together, but the spray down's good. Traded. Now 2v1. Coolast misses his first shot. Second opportunity, but there's score. Able to stabilize things. And exactly as you said, Dan, you know, if Staker is there, then he's that extra man in the retake. He buys them the 3-on-4. That open, he has to hit the one shot. Then it's the 1v1. It's a completely different scenario. You can understand him wanting to be proactive with it, wanting to put his team in a decent spot, but just not the right call at quite the right moment. And now, for the first time pretty much in this entire map, Checkmate are going to start having some economic concerns. They will still be able to buy into this one, but there are going to be sacrifices made, lacks of utility. Coolast not able to pick up the head armor. If this one goes wrong again, they will be back on the eco.
Yeah, not out the woods yet. Excurate tries for the timing shot. Doesn't quite connect. They're just going to run through the molly over the tunnels and just push in. Coolest. That's a great first. Even gets the spray onto the second as well. Score. Gets his head dislodged from his body. And now you have yourself a really good position checkmate. 4 on 3. Man advantage in towards his B site. Molly's going to stop pressure over towards the window as well. I think with that, you're looking at a 6th now, unless they can push these players out. And Staker's going to be watching towards the tunnels, making sure nobody's coming from the back lines for his team, so they could all focus on the front 2 entry points, and NKT are actually just going to back away.
They wanted an early pick there. They needed someone. They were hoping one of those 2 mollies, right, flashes someone out into the open. You get the early pick, 3v3. Maybe you can start dreaming a dream of getting that round through, but
yeah.
Once again, B site. The real vulnerability for NKT and the nerve on Coolast to hold that spray as well. The second player in the window, hoping that he'll have reset, looking for the reset to get the clean aim for the one tap. Instead, he holds his nerve, holds his spray, puts NKT in an excruciating position again. Their finances right on the brink of collapse.
I like this, though. I like this from NKT. They don't invest into this round. They know that if they keep this sort of economy with them, they can have a pretty solid buy in the next round. And already, the rifles and the AWP that was saved in that previous round have already found a 2-man advantage. So already, you're in a really good position on this NKT side. Even if this gets scrappy and you lose a few players, you'll be having quite a bit of cash to rebuy. That's not going to be an issue. Checkmate are the ones under pressure now, and a Staker wants to find a pick in towards his A side, but I think he might get caught by Excurate AWP. What? A Staker? A little bit of a jiggle, and then the tipsy tap to rip Excurate's head off. Brings it at least 1 back for the Checkmate side, and that's one of the AWPs gone as well.
Problem is, I don't know if they really want to commit again. As you said, they didn't really buy anything around these safe bits and pieces, and they're already starting to fall apart. Staker on the recovered AWP, an absolute field day out long, and at this point, Impression and Urcast would do well to hold on to an AK and an AWP, respectively. I mean, that is... You just can't write that entry from a Staker. Clearly been working on his refrag angles, because that was just straight textbook the pre-fire. Urkas looking to make some damage on the cross. Does miss his shot on the AWP. Not going to be punished for it, however. Checkmate. They have their 7th round. They get away with one a little bit there. A couple of early picks put them in a very rough spot, but it's Hasteka with a big triple kill. Just about able to stabilize it.
Unfortunately for NKT, we surely felt like they were in a great position in that round. But at least on the bright side for them, they have this bye coming in the next round. Especially with those saved weapons, you have a pretty solid chance here to try and get a little bit more from this half. And if we look back to Mirage as well, it was the T side where Checkmate really found the success. They had a really, really phenomenal T half, actually, and look to be doing the same here on Dust2. I just wonder whether they might peter out on the CT side a little bit. Whether they can keep their feet moving. Keep chugging away. For now, their focus is just going to be round by round. Try and get the best possible score in this first half, and really want to be trying to get towards 8 or 9 now at this point. When you look at the scoreboard, I feel like if NKT are able to bring anything back to more than like 6 rounds for themselves, that's probably going to be Checkmate feeling a little bit hard done in. Maybe wishing they could have a few of those rounds back. They've missed smoke, actually, towards the mid doors. Don't really see people missing that one, because it's just a right click in front of you, basically.
Like he tried to walk backwards right as he landed it. Checkmate just doubling back towards that long control. They've had it since the start of the round. Looking to make use of it now, clearing their early angles with the utility. They do have to deal with Excurate on a very unusual off angle at the moment. They're back past the back of Gandalf. Just looking to hold for the cross. Hasteka has lurked behind the smokes on short this whole damn time. Has support now as he is spotted out. The underpass player in Techno will need to find a shot here. Urkas has dealt with the first. They'll take the site, but at what cost? Excurate is still playing around these smokes, flirting with the aggression, but Bartak able to punish, and now they don't expect the second player on the flank. You never would. Jin, the first man to fall. Urkas now stuck again behind that smoke. Techno does very well to even stay alive. Will finally be taken down 3-on-3. CT side still in with a shout on this one. Impression does have a defuse kit. Smoke goes deep CT. I don't think that smoke went anywhere near where it was meant to. In fact, Urkas is going to drop around the corners of it, but Korlast already well placed with that AWP on the back plateau. Flashes to try and get them into the side, but it's awkward, and Blitz does well to trade 1-for-1. Korlast is there to back his man up. Impression in the 1v1, but he can't quite find it. Just too clean of a plant, just too long range of an angle, and all too simple for Korlast. 8 on the board. Guaranteed lead at the half for Checkmate. And NKT staring down the barrel of another very rough half by.
It's not. It feels weird to see Excurate struggling like he is in this series right now. It just feels like he isn't really with it in some regards. It just feels like he's not. Oh, Jesus. A little bit of back and forth into a spawn. They're actually going to be a little bit late towards that spawn, the short peak rather, or impression. I don't think it's going to matter. Nothing really could have been acquired by that quick push. Now rejoined by his teammates. So actually got a 4-man stack over towards short and just crab walk around these corners. This is interesting. Unfortunately, I'm not sure how successful it's going to be, because right now, Checkmate, 4 players out towards long, and you can see Techno still is a little bit wary about players from behind. He has now gone and regrouped with his teammates, but you can see he's going to keep sort of darting back to check towards mid, and he's actually just missed a chance on the spotting that first player, Urkas, who's been able to get over towards Suicide and undetected. There you go, now he's able to strike, does get the first deagle shot. Doesn't expect Bartek there as well, though. Things start to get stabilized now for Checkmate. They're just picking up these kills one by one.
Wandering out the doors. Excurate does well. Actually grabs a second as well, making this mighty expensive. He's got bomb at his feet. If he could just get his hands on a rifle, this might be winnable. 1v2, just 13 points of health though, and Hasteka able to rip it clean off. Checkmate again, I think guilty of expecting that round a little bit too much, right? They were just playing like the round was theirs for the taking, the aggression from the pistols. Able to get a lot of work done, but just never quite enough to get it over the line. NKT investing again into that double AWP setup, rolling the dice with that. Probably for the second to last time of this half, if it keeps going south, they need to find some success, and it absolutely has to be now. Already fast mid control going to be taken. Blitz and Coolast to contest that. No real interest in long, but through the smoke, Bartak with a nasty timing opens it up, and they know they've tagged Excura. They know they've legged the AWP. Coolast with a P250 out is storming up mid at the moment. They've got these two B players desperately pinched in. Excura is on the site itself. Impression, the timing on Coolast is going to be everything here. The P250 gets one. He knows the second's there, and he's got it. The full HP player and the leg player. The B site is taken. Thank you very much. We'll have double digits.
Oh, what is going on, Wolfie? This is... Why is Europe just pistol out in through mid? It doesn't make sense. It works out.
He knows he's legged Excura. It's just the confidence. He knows he's legged that AWP in mid, and he's just like, I'm having that kill. I'm having that kill. I want it whether it's mine or not. I'm taking it with a P250.
Yeah, but he continues into B site as well. Like, I think at that point I'd be like, okay, right, I'm now assaulting a site on my own with a P250 against probably two players. Well, I mean, a fair play works out. Not able to save this AWP either. That's a huge kill from Blitz.
Ten 3.
Yeah. This is looking like I don't know. Brutal. It's the only word I can think right now. Checkmate just have so many sort of cards in their deck, it feels. Like, just when you think that maybe NKT can find an opening, you see like Hasteka coming out with that huge 3K in towards the A site a few rounds prior. You see all these individuals that have just able to sort of find success and sort of mitigate the successes that individuals from NKT are having. And you can see as well, NKT, it is just individuals at certain moments are having some success. Score is silent though.
Yeah. Big man from map 1.
Yeah. He was the only one really finding success on Mirage, and without him, it's silence. There's nothing that can be found. Meanwhile, when you look at the Checkmate side, everybody apart from Techno is having a good game, or having at least a solid game.
Flashes out long again. They've done this before, and it got caught. This time, it's going to be punished again. Early man advantage, and through the smoke. So much damage being done by these pistols. The trades will come through. The rifles will be salvaged. And 2v3, Checkmate finally called it off. But that's going to be 3 rifles picked up and a big call to make now for NKT. They're on 3,400 loss bonus. They are going to be buying into the next and last round of this half, no matter what happens here. You've got 3 AKs. Do you roll the dice? 2v3, it's going to be a retake onto that B-bomb side. Bomb should be able to transfer before anything really comes through. Coolast posts himself on the gap in the smoke. That bomb will go down. They want to give this a try on the CT side. Couple of players posted deep spawn. They've set up a nice little crossfire for any aggression, but not going to get any chances. A second on the late flank. That's going to be Urcast. Already being held down by that AWP, though, and the aggression from Techno I don't think is to be expected. Tucked in. Awkward angle for the CT side to clear. Smoke goes in. Now he gets his spray down. Coolast hits 1, and Techno gets the double. Of course he does. From a moment of weakness, Checkmate stabilize again. 11 on the board. It's the last round of this first half. And NKT just looking to salvage a 4th from this CT side. Anything to give them hope heading into that T side. That second half, they need a platform to build off.
Yeah. I mean, I just love it as well. I highlight Techno maybe not having sort of as good of a game at the start of that round, and then he just gets a 2K to win it out for his team. Love to see it. And I mean, I was going to say I'll let him off as well because he had a very, very strong Mirage, but that was unfortunate.
Bit much.
Yeah. Just runs it through long, through the smokes, and actually Urcast mollies down another one as well. Again, NKT, huge advantage here. 3 on 5, but Blitz! No! He just walked through the CT smoke, walked through that A defense, and now that 2-man advantage that NKT had is all gone.
Timing's going to be everything now. Oh, Impression does very well. That's bombed down in the middle of no man's land, in all honesty. Ulash trying to bait the shot out. Not going to happen. Okay, NKT, they stabilize. Just about able to get it done. 11-4. A solid enough scoreline for the Checkmate boys. And we'll have to see if they can put it over the line in clean 2-0 fashion after the break.
And one more half potentially could seal it between Checkmate and NKT if Checkmate are able to find just 5 out of the next 15 rounds. They will secure themselves a spot at the IEM Fall main event for the Asia region. And now they'll take the turn on the defense, and Exker already dinked up. Trying to take a duel through mid with the P250. We'll drop it over to his teammate score. As Exkerit's not going to be too much of a fighter in this round anymore with that 10 HP. But they'll actually reciprocate. Attack down to 12 as well. So even damage done across the board here.
Nice start for both sides. Early dink onto Exuret. That drops across the P250 from the raid boss, but the aggression on short punished as well. Techno actually playing around that smoke, trying to use it as a one-way of his own. Has spotted the feet making their way towards short. Long control taken is the response from the CT side, and it's not a half bad one either. Problem is they need men on the site itself, and that's the scramble rotation from Blitz and Techno to put them in a position to do some work. Bartak on just 12 HP, though. He needs support out towards long, and the bomb is actually out there as well. If they can isolate that fight, maybe they can do something about this, but it's Blitz on short. 2 one-taps, 2 bullets, 2 quick kills. Bartak good for 1 onto Shin as well. This is starting to fall apart. They need a quick frag, and Exura has managed to provide a double. Now he's got an isolated player on the site itself who's desperately trying to stay alive. Blitz just bunking bunkered down. He's trying to buy time for the rotations. There it is, and it's Excurate. Deep down to 10 HP early. Required the ace, and he's not going to have it. Hastaker rips the head off the last man, but it's Blitz's heroics from sight that get it all done.
Blitz, man. That is just how to shut down a round from that ace site. Tip tap. Thank you very much. As they find themselves at 12th, and that's gonna really, really hurt NKT. Just the morale. You're gonna be just so strained now to try and fight back into this one. Unless you're able to pick up this pistol buy, this force buy, and find yourself 5 and get back somewhat into this game before it's too late. Otherwise, you're gonna be on, what, 14-4? A 10-round deficit? That's a long way to try and fight back, and I don't think that's it.
Just such an awkward spot. Again, if they even just get the bomb down, NKT, then there's AKs, there's Galils, there's so much more possibility in this round. Instead, a handful of pistols, Excurate on the scout. We're going to have a peer out of short, see if anyone does pop their head up for a peek. It's for now. Happy to play his angles. Excurate, though, nice headshot for the first. A little awkward the spray down from Blitz, so they'll get out short. 4 players here. Blitz desperately calling for assistance, but that FAMAS not quite firing off either. Isolated fights being taken. Blitz does very well. Gets the triple from the ramp. And right when it looked to fall apart, the stabilizing factor is here. Hastaker finishes the job. It's Blitz again. 2 heroics inside of 2 rounds to get Checkmate 13.
Well, I think we might be able to call this one now. As a Checkmate just inch closer to 16. They'll surely have 14 on the board. And although we might see a little bit of a resurgence from NKT on this T side, you have to be almost flawless. You're allowed 1 mistake in your comeback, and 11 rounds to try and get to OT. 1 mistake in there, that's just so difficult. And especially when you just don't have any momentum behind you. The pistol round is just Blitz just dragging out. He's even able to double it up in the second round. And they're just being gunned down out towards long. They're being crunched on. Checkmate are oh so aggressive. And Gas can only do one thing and watch that HE sail. As it explodes, takes him down. And there you go, 14. But NKT will have to buy, and maybe they can find something with this.
They need a lot from this. Excurate sacrificing the head armor to have an AWP. Up against the CT side, it's a very big call to make. Trusting yourself to hit those shots. Of course, as you said, Dan, 10 rounds to play with on the CT side of things, so you can afford to be a little bit cheeky with this one. Oh, Excurate spots out the pixel. It's the leg onto cool last early. Looking to take swathes of map control at pace here, NKT. Already 90% of the way up short. Score an Urcast. Looking to push the issue, and 4 players here. They're going to go fast. As the CT side is setting up something to try and prevent a mid-B split, it's going to be short taken wholeheartedly, and there is nobody home. Nothing this CT side can do. They're dropping what utility they can. A Molotov to try and delay the cross. Aggression into the upper halls of B just to get the information away. Litz is playing for the drop, but no drop has come. The bomb now making its way around. He's trying to play around a plethora of smokes, and they're giving nothing the CT side. 5v5. Do you even want to give this retake a go?
I think you have to, surely. I think 15 to 4. Oh, no. Oh, it's all gone wrong for the Checkmate side. Oh, dear. Finally something from NKT, though. Finally. Yeah, I was going to say, I think you have to if you Checkmate. I mean, you've got the cash to rebuy. Well, actually, don't you? Well, Bartak and Techno don't. I was thinking there'd be a little bit more cash from them. Hastaker could drop it over, but yeah, actually, if probably would have been wise to save at least a couple rifles there. I think once those first few players go down at the start, I think you just have to try and save. I think they did, but Team NKT were just super quick to try and chase them down. But I think going for that retake all in all isn't a bad idea. I think it's still one you should generally go for. But yeah, maybe in a different world where 3 players don't get taken down almost immediately, you may be able to save a few weapons and just do a little bit of damage to the NKT side.
Yeah, a little bit of whack-a-mole there for Urcast, and does well. Admittedly, controls the spray. It's not something you practice all that much, spraying down onto 3 players, but gets the job done. CT side in a little bit of an awkward spot as a result, and Extra with a nice spawn for long. He's going to sit in that molly a while, see if he can pick anyone off. Nothing forthcoming. They'll double back. They'll reset again. This buy very rough for the CT side, and that's bled out a lot of utility already. You've got UMPs, Deagles, FAMAS, M4, Coolast, the only player with a big green. And now just a handful of smokes and flashes. You can see they're trying to be proactive with it, Checkmate. They know they've got to put their best rifles in aggressive, proactive positions and see if they can get something with it. Now, though, not going to be tested. Accurate, boosted to give himself an angle. Falls off the head as he takes short control. And timing is now going to be everything. They have got a man boosted on this short angle. Coolast there and waiting, and he's expecting it. Score falls early. That's what you needed. The AWP gets a big opening pick. And with the smoke down, there's going to be no early trade.
Artak just with the UMP posted up. I think he was just hoping somebody's going to push through that smoke. That's the best sort of situation for you with that UMP. But now it faded. He's just going to allow his teammate to take that first contact. And I think on the first AWP shot, he'll swing. They do push. For now, though, they're actually going to reset themselves at NKT and try and head over towards this B site. A Staker, if he peeks them towards mid, could find Urcast, which would cut off that player looking for rotations. But you can see Staker support his teammate who can't find anything, and there's Urcast. A nice double. Had a couple nice rounds now, but it's all up to Bartak, and I think a 1 versus 4. Nays landing all around him, and there you go, 6 on the board. Checkmate are going to have to take the eco now.
Promising start. Falls apart again for the CT side. Still plenty of rounds. Still plenty of time, but I think NKT just starting to stretch their legs a little bit. Just starting to show up to the server, say, hey, yep, we can do this. Some clean headshots in that one. Some nice catches on the rotations as well.
Remember as well, loser is not like eliminated from this at all. There's a second match you can play to try and qualify in that lower bracket. So it's not all over. So if you can, even if you're NKT, you can find a few rounds here just to put up a little bit of confidence on anything at all. That can certainly help in that next match, just to feel like you've got more of a chance, as they are pretty cleanly getting rid of this eco round from the Checkmate side. Just Coolest remains, USP and Spawn. Currently has a 2.0 KD. 18-9. Loving life.
I mean, he's got Jin on 35 and Extra on 4, so potential to keep that up would be quite the feat, however. He's hearing players all around him, yet to spot anyone out, and now the AK looking to drop. Impression gets away with murder there. If it's anything other than a USP, he's dead to rights, but instead the spam down from the default pistol doesn't quite connect. Gap at 7. Checkmate will have their buy. M4's come out. There's not going to be an AWP this time, unless the Stakers really is happy to take one for the team. And as soon as I say that, he takes one for the team. Glass Cannon AWP, 1 flashbang to work with, no defuse kits, limited utility. Checkmate. They've not waited for the strongest buy in the world. They're looking to get it done with what they can afford.
Urcast finding a little bit of form, though. Being a bit of an idol for his team right now, lifting them up in this T side as the 7-14. Need to try and find a little bit more, though. The angle needs to get this first shot, and he will, but he loses his teammate in the process as he looks to find more. It's Excavate who will secure the frag, and a man advantage for NKT as they still are going to keep on fighting here in this T-Harp.
Nice idea. Execution wasn't it, and now Techno walks right into the crosshair, gets the dink, but the M4, as always, usurped by the AK-47. Now 2v4. There's damage on a couple of players. The problem is you can see there's so little information available for the CT side that Staker is just storming through the tunnels, pistol in hand. Desperate for any kind of a call. NKT have cut all contact, all noise, no cues at all for the CT side to work off. Staker now is just wandering across mid, spotted out by Score, and they know that B-bomb site is likely unoccupied. The anchor is gone. He'll make the rotation, but now the timings are going to be absolutely everything. A man up short in the form of Bartak, and how much can Asteka really be expected to get done? Bartak, though, has found a second, and now they've got mid control and B. They've got info to work with, and with 20 seconds left, a big call being made by NKT here. They're going to double back. They're going to hit towards this A site, and Bartak is here, molly in hand. He doesn't throw it, looks for a second bite. The time is going to be rough, has to fall back now. He's dropped a molly onto the site itself. That'll bleed some smokes as the bomb plant comes through, but Asteka fast flank is read by Urcast, and out of absolutely nowhere, Bartak finds himself in the 1v2. They're not expecting the fast flank just yet. He will have a timing open to him. Both players on the site itself, and he's starting to creep his way around, but now he's spotted, and Urcast puts him down.
Oh, they make it difficult for themselves, don't they, NKT? That was a 4v2, and that could have easily gone the way of Checkmate there. Asteka with the AWP, just missing out on the shot towards the player short on that flank there. Could have, if he wins that fight out there, they probably win the round. Unfortunately, doesn't go their way, and now Checkmate take another pause. They've only got one tactical left. They really want to make sure that they don't give NKT many more chances, because now a 6-round deficit. Probably going to be just a 5-round deficit in a moment with these Deagle's purchase for Checkmate, and that looks like a technical pause as well has been called.
We hadn't had quite enough, damn, so they have to call some, you know, keep us waiting, keep us on the edge of our seats. And yeah, this is starting to get a little bit fidgety for Checkmate now. Still a 6-round buffer, still plenty of room, don't get me wrong. But they're yet to put it up to series point. Still got to achieve that. Their economy, as always on the CT side, is just back and forth like a yo-yo. So this one's going to be a half buy. Handful of Deagles and 5.7s. Well built up economy on the side of NKT as well as you start to really dig into it. Shin, Nexcura, Urcast, all knocking on the door at 10k. So even if Checkmate are able to get one across the line, there's still going to be full buys till they get it done. It's one of those ones where it looks a long way away, but in all reality for NKT, it is not too far. A few big rifle rounds, you get something done. We have had some clarity on the tech issues. We've got a TeamSpeak lag, which is the oldie classic technical issue, so we'll wait for that one to slowly pan its way out and try and work out. I mean, for Checkmate, you want to get this put to bed in the next few rounds, right? You do not want to leave this any longer.
Yeah, you wanna get things across the line. The longer this drags on, the more pensive you start to feel on that Checkmate side. And obviously this one's going to be a little bit of a throwaway. They'll try and find some damage. But you can see already Urcast is almost at $10,000. Excurit's at $9,000. The rest of the team got a little bit of cash to play with as well. So if Checkmate do win a round, they can still rebuy up NKT. They've got enough for that. And that's sort of what you need to be sort of just managing here, NKT. Just make sure you keep enough for at least one rebuy. Because that's all you need really right now. If you lose a couple, then you've lost the game at this point. As we do head back into things. 5-7, 4 Deagles, and surely a 9th for NKT. Surely they don't mess this up, right, Wolfie?
Oh, he's looking for the caster curse. Not quite been able to land it yet.
No.
Staker on the receiving end of a fairly hefty HE. Only player not to buy armor on that CT side of things, and he pays the price. I mean, at the very least here, bleeding out some utility. It's not a bad start. Checkmate not really doing anything too inventive with this one. Happy to sit in their default. Lead out the nades, make the reinvestment. Now things start to get interesting. 4 players queued up on short. At the moment, just Blitz on the site itself. Drops his own smoke. Tries to buy a little bit of time. It's not going to happen. They're straight through it, and Blitz is looking the wrong way. Urcast, a clean execution to open things up. Will get a little awkward, though. Oh, desperately close for Koulas, but he can't quite find it. And now NKT, it feels like they're starting to find their form. A couple of big shots. Asteka at least able to find one onto Impression. The Deagle and a 5-7, in all reality, just looking for the exit frags. Urkas gets away with absolute murder as he survives on 12 HP. And again, that gap's down to 5. A clean execute from short to the A site from NKT and some clean headshots as well.
Just saving a 5-7 and armor. I mean, the armor's nice, I guess. Still got 100 of it, so as long as he doesn't take damage here, he can upgrade to head armor for $350 if he wants. But against AKs, that's not really a big factor. I don't think that really matters too much. You're better off maybe dropping an AWP over with that extra cash, and that's exactly what he'll do. Staker going to be wielding that one. Actually drops it to coolest and eyes his own. Okay, fair enough. Double AWPs to come through. It is a switch up, and perhaps one they need. I always feel like the double AWPs, when you bring them out, it's usually because you're struggling to get things going, and it's a bit of a change up that might just give you sort of the openings you need.
Timing's nice for Urcast on the spawn. Drops back. We'll concede the long control. Double AWP setup. We've got one. Holding. Oh. Yeah, he's rotating back now. We got one very aggressive. A Staker again. Looking to take this upper hall's control away. Kulas posts himself on the long corner. He'll play the bait and switch for Bartak. It's a nice opening set from the CT side, and you can see a Staker, a lot of information gathered, but now with the flash coming in, he's got to be a little bit careful of this. Stay scoped up to not give the sound cues away, but through the smoke, Urkas, what is that? Just straight catches Blitz on the rotation, a big opening pick, and now Staker has to play more passively. The man advantage, or even the level pegging, is gone. 4v5, Checkmate once again find themselves on the back foot. Staker trying to rotate that AWP into mid. He's found the leg of Excurate through the wall. Damage done, but not quite enough. They need that refrag, and they're playing very aggressively to try and get it. Nice pick from Kulas. Now they're leveled out. Now that leg onto Excurate becomes significant.
Bartak still up close as well towards long doors. His teammate has fallen back into the site to protect towards short, the right call, because you can see NKT, they're posturing up. They have the smoke starting to come through. Bartak is just staring down Urcast inside of the smoke. And as it starts to fade, a huge kill comes through. And now he knows that angle's clear. He can just focus with his teammate in towards the A site. That is a huge buff towards this defense. And with 14 seconds, that molly is huge. It's going to slow them down. He gets a collateral. Not quite the 2k, but with the second shot, he will secure that second kill. Now he's executed alone, and it's that low HP. But it's Bartak with the M4 to close it down. 15-9. One more is all that's required for Checkmate. But Team NKT, they still have the cash to rebuy. They can still keep the pressure on and try and find a few more here.
They can still sniff that overtime out. 6 rounds required. So far for Checkmate, that's isolated success. That's moments of individual brilliance. Bartak cheeky around the smoke. Nice shots from Coolast. Fast B. Why not? Send everything you've got.
Oh,
they
thank God they
bailed
called
out.
that off. Yeah. Thank God they called that one off. That would have been a massacre. Running through a smoke. There's basically 3 plays in defense over towards the G site right now.
Oh, Techno. He's going to go down to the molly. The nades come in, tag through the smoke. The Molotov ticks him. Well, there's a gift.
Yeah. Not a rough game, Techno. At least on Dust2 anyway. Looking strong on Mirage though. I think he ended like top fragger as well. 28-15, yeah. He was sublime on Mirage, so I'll let him off for a slow Dust2 here.
This angle is going to be all or nothing for Coolast, in complete honesty. He's actually going to bail out of it, and I think at just the right time. Everyone was queuing up towards short. Sets himself instead towards the ramp. Urcast gets run boosted right where Coolast was. There's the molly. Eyes in precious seconds, but this time there is no frag to be found for free out long. Staker actually there with the other AWP. It's going to be a full AWP hold of this A site. It's all or nothing time once again. Coolast Behind the ramp, Molotov goes into his previous position out on Goose. Astaka looking to hold the cross. There's some nasty one-way smokes there for multiple players. And Astaka out in no man's land. It's a freebie. Kulas on his own up on the site has missed the critical shot. The no-scope won't land for him either. He's somehow alive as he gets out, but all his teammates are gone. He's dancing around this site, finally to be put down. 6 becomes 5. NKT around closer. And again, as you look over at that CT economy, it's not there. This buy is not going to be coming through. It's a half buy here. It's 11 on the board for NKT. And that gap just keeps getting narrower.
How many shots did Coolest take there with the HWP? It just felt like, at least for Hastaka as well, it felt like for him, he just did not have... I think he thought he could see players if they pushed around the back of that smoke. Which is a little bit odd, considering the smoke is there to try and cover that angle. But he just didn't anticipate players to be coming already out that right side of the smokes. He was so exposed, couldn't really see them with his scope. And now they're going to try aggression in towards B tunnels Urcast. Surely has a freebie here, just inches around the corner. He's going to spot that toe in a second. Nails the headshot.
Smooth sailing. Smoke goes out. Techno has to buy time. Cuts a very lonely figure out on that B site. Still the stack over towards A for Checkmate. Utility being used smartly. NKT, they've not made any mistakes against these kind of half buys. They've been diligent, using their utility efficiently, making sure they clear their angles, not allowing anyone to get anything cheeky behind them. And that's almost exactly what the call is. Again, they're going to head towards short, by far their most successful portion of this map. They'll look for the full execute. They've got plenty of utility left in the bag to achieve it. And once more, it's going to be Coolast. This time at least with Blitz in support. 35 seconds left on the clock. You know, the timings do start to get a little ugly here. Couple of tags out. Smoke from Coolast in front of himself just to give him a little bit of breathing room, and he's going to play around the corners of it. They know where to look. They're spamming away, and they're actually going to call it off. They're going to back off with 20 seconds left on the clock, and Techno could have a huge role to play here. 18 seconds. The bomb hightailing its way over towards B. Techno spotted this all out, but he's missed his shot, and the score puts him down. That'll be it. The clock for a split second looked like it might betray NKT, but a clean headshot from Score will ensure that bomb can go down, ensure the round is theirs. And once again, CT side, I mean, they're looking for damage, but at this point, really not relevant in the grand scheme of things. Bartak able to find at least one. I guess confidence build. Nice wallbang from Execure, though, to keep it thin. And again, Coolast and Blitz, couple of deagles. Maybe a kill. Nice clean shot for one, but again, quickly traded down. No real... Oh, okay, Blitz. Makes it at least a little more expensive and grabs himself a second. Okay, I take everything I've said back. This now to get significant. Blitz will grab himself an AWP. Won't be allowed to escape. He'll be put down by impression, but that's a nice confidence builder.
Yeah, a very nice confidence build there, and a bit awkward for NKT to maybe feel like, okay, these guys are still hitting shots. Let's just be careful, guys, because you'd rather that happen there if you're NKT than in this next round, and you end up losing the game because of it, because the guy's an AK and just 1v3s you or something like that. So you'd rather having it there where there's not much consequence in the grand scheme of things. Obviously, you still have a buy up for yourself. Extra still has that AWP. Checkmate bring through the double AWPs. And you still manage to deny them from saving that AWP, so you had to fully invest into it on that Checkmate side. But 11 to 15, NKT are giving us a good show on this T-half, that's for sure.
4 more rounds required by NKT. Nice little nade onto Astaka. Forces him off his first angle. Playing this T side very nicely indeed. NKT not really giving anything away for free. Coolast this time wants to push the issue out towards long. The timing's awkward. Jin is shouldering and swinging this angle, but Coolast has never quite caught him. There's a real timer on this kind of a double long setup, as again the timing is awkward. You can't leave your primary AWPer out long forever. You have to start rotating. You have to start thinking about that short hit, which has been near enough an inevitability on the T side of NKT. So they will start to cheat their rotations around. They will start to get a second player. Ollie in towards short. Smoke to follow just to buy some time. If nothing else, just to make that first angle a little more awkward. Now the set nades start to come out again. It starts to smell like a hit up short. Nice little nade on to score to make it slightly more expensive on the HP, but they are going to be headed out short regardless. 4 players headed their way up. There's a nice 3-man set here for the CT side. Coolast this time will be responsible for the crossing angle, and full blind. He catches the timing. Shin, the first to go down. That's the bomb down with it. They can't bail out of this anymore. 13 seconds. They're running out of time. Urcast drops to deal with the AWPer. 10 seconds. That bomb has got to be planted, and the man from Goose strikes. Spartak and Blitz. They've done it. It doesn't matter. There's nothing more they can do. The time is against them, and it will be 16-11. The 2